Hey, this is Jeff Honeycutt with the Horsepower Monster. Got a fun one for you. We have traveled up to beautiful Medford, Minnesota for Stoen Racing Engines, where Jamie Stoen is building a throwdown dirt modified race engine to support the racing community. It's going to be a great build.
Yeah, so this is what we're building the engine for. Now, if you're not familiar, these are dirt modified race cars, and they are an absolute blast. These cars are sanctioned by the United States Modified Touring Series, or the USMTS as most racers know it. And these are the A Mods, which is the top of the heap. They boast over 600 horsepower. The chassis are lightweight and handle incredibly well. And because the USMTS has done a really good job of keeping costs down for the racers, the tracks are absolutely busting at the seams with these cars, creating side-by-side racing action and fantastic fun. Incidentally, the USMTS is going into its 25th season of racing this year, and Stoen is celebrating his 25th year as an engine builder. So they decided to work together and give back to the racers by building and giving away a race spec A-Mod engine. Here, I'll let Jamie give some more of the background on this build.
Hey, this is Jamie Stoen of Stoen Racing Engines in Medford, Minnesota. Just putting together a 415 cubic inch USMTS A Modified engine for a touring series that goes throughout the country. It's got parts from all the vendors that we use throughout the series, and I've had great luck with. Our shop, we primarily focus on USMTS A Modifieds. We also do some Lucas Oil World Outlaw late models. We've dabbled into some of the drag racing, truck pulling as well, and a little bit of the lower class B mod street stocks as well in the local racing community. So when we started this project for the USMTS giveaway, the first initial call I made was to PBM, and we worked with Paula Flowers directly, and she is one that we've worked with for 25 years, a phenomenal company, and they wanted to put something together with this and be a big part of this program to give back to the racing community. So they stepped up with some big products, the blocks all the way down to the trimmings, and it's been a great partnership.
So let's get started. USMTS rules require a cast iron block, so Jamie says the obvious choice is a World Products Motown 2 block. Compared to a stock Chevrolet block, the World Products Motown 2 has many advantages. Besides being cast and machined in the USA from super high strength iron, World Products engineers also redesigned the oiling system so that the critical main bearings are fed first, and then the camshaft and lifters. Also, here you can see the lifter gallery that runs down the center of the lifter valley so that both banks of lifters are fed at the same time and at equal pressure. The block has already been machined with 4-inch 125 thousandths cylinder bores, although the casting can handle up to 4 inches 200 thousandths reliably. And from the underside, you can see how the block is notched to accept crankshafts with as much as 4 inches of stroke. This will be a high revving race engine, however, so the stroke is going to be limited to 3 inches 875 thousandths. Jamie has already done the hard work of blueprinting the engine, so all the important stuff like checking the bearing clearances were done before we arrived. So all Jamie has to do is reinstall the Clevite H-Series main bearings, apply a little assembly lube, and the crank is ready to be dropped into place. This is a Callie's Compstar forging with standard size mains and rod journals. As I already mentioned, the stroke is 3 inches 875 thousandths. For the giveaway engine, Callie's went with a standard weight 48-pound crank, but Jamie says he often uses a lightened crank for his builds with good success. One really nice upgrade for the Motown 2 block is the use of steel main caps instead of nodular iron for added strength. Normally, on 4-bolt main caps, the outer bolts are smaller, but here they're all the same size. Oh, and here are all the fasteners, both bolts and studs, are high tensile strength pieces from ARP to absolutely minimize any chances of a failure. Plus, World's design uses 4 fasteners on all 5 main caps, not just the center 3 like usual. Jamie torques both the inner studs and the outer bolts all to 70 foot-pounds. To mount up the crankshaft, we've got a set of steel forged connecting rods, which are also from Cali's. These H-beam rods are 6 inches from center to center with a 928 thousandths wrist pin. And actually, these are Cali's extreme version of the Compstar connecting rods, which are designed to be as light as possible while still maintaining optimal strength. You can see the extra machining along the beam of the rod to help cut out a few additional ounces. These rods weigh in at just 644 grams. Attached to the connecting rods are custom slugs from JE Pistons. Jamie works with JE for these pistons to come up with the right dome and piston relief combo to maximize the combustion ratio while also maintaining a high-speed flame front. And these are custom to this build because we'll be using steel valves. On Jamie's titanium valve builds, he likes to have 100 thousandths of an inch of clearance for the exhaust valves. But because he doesn't know who will win the engine and how particular they will be with the maintenance, this time they went with steel valves. Steel valves are heavier than titanium, obviously, so the valve reliefs are a bit deeper to create about 140 thousandths clearance. Anyhow, once everything is dialed in, this engine will have a little over 14:1 compression ratio and burn 116 octane race fuel. To help make room for big valves and minimize shrouding going into the cylinders, Jamie maximizes the piston diameter and shortens up the stroke. These pistons, as I mentioned, are 4 inches 125 thousandths in diameter. So, combined with the 3-inch 875 thousandths stroke, that'll make the final displacement 415 cubic inches. Anyway, after dropping the pistons in the bores, Jamie torques the ARP rod bolts to 75 foot-pounds, which equates to between 5 and 6 thousandths of an inch of rod bolt stretch. So, that's the rotating assembly. Stay tuned. Next time around, Jamie and Stoen Racing Engines will be dialing in the cylinder heads and valve train on this 600 horsepower dirt modified ripper. You're not going to want to miss that.